Hello and a very good morning to the lecturer. Me and my group members are going to explain about our ethical hacking problem-based task, code DFS 40093. So, my name is Darshan Kumar son of Suresh and my matrix number is 01DDT20F1019.
My name is Sarvin son of Mughal. My matrix number is 01DD20F1012.
My name is Kuan IKS Maginder and my metric number is 01DDT20F1012.
And my name is Sundaram Pandey son of Sinasamy and my metrical number is 01DDT20F1095.
Okay, well, for our question today is, I will just read it for you guys. Synergy Sadiran Burha is facing increasing security threats from a wide range of source. Systems and network may be the target of a variety of attacks, including computer-based fraud, surveillance, and vandalism. Such threats are generally expected to become more widespread, more ambitious, and increasingly sophisticated. Because of increasing dependence on IT systems and services, the company is becoming more vulnerable to security threats. Okay, me and my group members are working as a penetration tester for Secure Minds Dian Berhad. So our task is to reduce risk related to any cyber attacks, as in per the question. So we are required to do penetration testing that includes check for the live system, check the status and ports, service identification, banner grabbing, OS fingerprinting, vulnerability scanning, covering tracks, and document all finding. So the two main virtual machine that we use is attacking machine as Kali Linux and another one is vulnerable machine, as you can see in the screen. So for the first part, I will explain to you guys the live check system. So first of all, open your Kali Linux, then you will see the comment box like this as in the screen, which will look like this lah, the Kali Linux. So first step, step one, open the command terminal in Kali Linux. Step two, ping the IP address and click enter. As you can see the IP address here, 192.168.56.101. So this is the target IP address for us. And after that, you will get this, after you press enter, you will get the same output each row, row 1, 2, 3. As you can see, I have circled that. So this is our output for our live system. So, well, to stop the output from display continuously, what you can do, you just click on Control plus Z, CTRL plus Z. So there is no any error found when the output is successfully popped up or displayed like this. So for the next, I will pass it to Sundra to continue with checking the status of the pods.
Well, thank you, Darshan. Now I will explain about the check the status of pods, services, service identification, banner grabbing, and also OS fingerprinting. As a second step, we are also scanning targeted vulnerable machine IP address, which is 192.168.56.101, to identify its pods, status of the pods, services, banner, and operating system using Nmap tool. This will help us to find a specific vulnerability in a system. Next slide. For the first step, you need to open terminal in the attacker machine, which is terminal. As usual, the first step to open is the terminal is usually located at right corner top. And then next slide. The second step is run a command, which is sudo nmap -sv-o -script equal to banner and then 192.168.56.101. In order to run operating system detection, we need a root access in our Kali Linux system. So I write sudo command to gain root access in our Kali Linux machine. And then we write nmap because we are using nmap tool, followed by -sv, which is to identify service version, then -o to do OS fingerprinting, followed by --script equal to banner for banner grabbing, and lastly 192.168.56.101, which is IP address of our targeted machine. After write this comment, click enter, and then step 3 is enter your Kali Linux password to get root access in Kali Linux, and then enter your password in the place and then click enter again. Next slide. And then you can see the result of the coding. Next slide. Okay, now we analyze the result first. Okay, now we have successfully get information about pods, status of the pods, services, version, banner and operating system of the targeted IP address. As you can see that I label each one of them in the presentation slide. We are identified 23 open pods and 977 closed pods in the scan report. And then now let's analyze port number 21. The status of the port number 21 is open and it's running FTP service. Well, FTP stand for File Transfer Protocol, and it is a standard communication protocol used for the transfer of computer file from a server to a client on a computer network. Next, we found the FTP server version, which is VSFT FTPD 2.3.4, and then finally we identify its banner, which is 220 in bracket VSFTPD 2.3.4 by using banner grabbing script. Next slide. We are also found the targeted IP address operating system, which is in range of Linux 2.6.9 until Linux 2.6.33. These information help us to explore further in identifying vulnerability in a vulnerable machine. Okay, next I pass to Tarvin. Next slide.
Right. Now I'm going to present about vulnerability scanning. Okay, first step is here you have to find the available ports and service and its our version. So for that you have to put this command, which is dash sv. Sv is for the version, and dash p is for specify the port range, which is 20 to 500, and click enter. So after you can have a clear vision about the port which is available, which is 21, 22, 23 till 445, and the state of the port and service of the port. So for the vision, the important thing is we want to find is here the version of the port, which is VSFPD, OpenSSH, Linux, and more. So next, okay, so here I choose a port number 21, which is using a FTP service and VSFTPD 2.3.4 version. So next I'm going to find the available script for the specific port. So for that you have to input this command locate star.nse grep ftp to find the port available script for the service. So here you have got 9 scripts, and these 3 scripts that I mark here is the are the for vulnerability scanning. Next, okay, here first I use a VSFPD script. Okay, for that, command for the script is nmap -p. So we have to put the port number which is you want to reach your target. So negative dash p script ftp vsftpd, and input the IP address. So now you can see here that the script is applied for this port, and this port is vulnerable and exploitable. You can even get a user ID and group ID, which is group down there. And next slide. Okay, next here I applied anon script. So for that, same as the previous one, VSFTB script, just replace the name. Okay, here you can see, just enter, see, any anonymous user can log in with the anonymous name. So the second picture, I tried login. So here I just enter the username anonymous and click enter twice, and I get access to the remote system. So this is about the vulnerability scan. Next, I'll pass to next presenter, Kun.
All right, thank you, Tarvin. So now I'll be explaining on the last part where it'll be almost about covering the tracks. Where now we are going to shred the item what we have done all of this while now. So first we are going to find all the log files in the directory. So to find the log files in the directory, what we are going to do here is actually we are going to write the command where /var/log money symbol and list. So that is called ls. So the command, and now you can see all of the list has been displayed in the Linux here, and you can see now all of the log files has been displayed, and you can see what is the best part here is actually we are going to choose one specific log only, because later I'll be telling you why we are going to choose that log. When I keep explaining, you can know the reason. So you can see by all of this, let me explain one by few of the logs, what is it stands for and what is the reason it is here. So you can see first is like auth.log. It stands for, it stores all of the authentication log files, and like you can see kern.log, that stands for it is stores all of the kernel log files, and next will be like macchanger.log. It is stores all of the mail server logs files. So now I'll just specifically choose only one. There will be out.log. So auth.log. So you can see I have been go to the next command where I have typed /var/log money symbol and sudo nano out.log. So we are going to use this, and once we have clicked enter, it will ask for password. And next slide. All right, so when we click enter, you can see all of this file has been entered. Actually, it's very long, but I just snipped little bit only, you can see. So because these are all the files that need to be shredded actually, because of course now you all will be wondering why we need to shred. And before I tell you the reason why we need to shred, let me explain why what is the meaning of shred here. So the meaning of shred here is actually it's a tool where we need to erase or delete. Easily I can say erase, or maybe we can just delete permanently from the system these all of the files. Why is it? Because it's actually when we shred, it will actually delete permanently. Of course, you all will be wondering why can't we straight delete it? The word delete, we can just write the command delete. Actually, when we use the delete command, it will delete, but actually it actually can be recovered using any recovering software or backup software, actually through internet or something. So to avoid all of this problem, we use this shred command actually. So next slide. So here we will use /var/log money symbol sudo shred and service name, I mean the version name, /vfzu out.log. So you can see what we are doing here is actually when we started to shred, of course you all be asking why we need to shred. So actually another reason I want to add here is actually why we need to shred is actually as we are doing an attacking process here, or any attacking activity here. So to avoid any problem or avoid any the like cyber forensic team to get to know who is the attacker here actually is. So that's why we are shredding the all of the files, so that they cannot even trace a single ID also what we are doing here. So that's why we are using this shred activity here, and you can just shred sudo shred. You can see the command that I've mentioned earlier. So once we are shred, you can see the output here that like all out.log rename to 000, and you can see until it removed fully successfully. So what they are trying to mean here is actually in this command, in this process, at the end of the process here is actually this shows all of the authentication files has been successfully shredded throughout all of the system. So later, when a cyber forensic team also came here, or they even can't even trace a single ID also. So that's all from me. So thank you.